Imagine this, a video about a Lalique that isn't Encre Noire. This guy right here. Let's find out if it's any good. Fragrance family, welcome to the previously titled first impression video, which will now be known as Pop the Cherry. This is where I pop the cork of a fragrance. So it's my first time, my first test on skin with this one right here. I've worn this fragrance as my scent of the day today, and I'm going to inform you how good or bad it was on its first test drive. So today, as the title suggests, I'm trying out a Lalique fragrance, this one called Insoumis. This one already, to this date, has a flanker release called Insoumis Ma Force, a 2018 release, which I've heard bad things about that one. People are comparing it to a Zaro Chromish kind of freshness, but we're not here for the flanker. We're here for the originator. Let's see how this one does on my skin. So first and foremost, let's take a look under the hood for some stats on this one. So as you can see, in terms of presentation, this one gets some hate because all you hear is Lalique copied Ferragamo's Uomo. This guy right here, this bottle right here. And yeah. However, I heard through the grapevine that Lalique actually built the design for the Uomo bottle. So that's not confirmed on my end. But if it is true, then I guess it's okay. So the release date of this fragrance was 2016. The nose behind this is Fabrice Pellegrin. A large resume, lots of deep ticks, Zaro scents, Ferragamos, among others. So how did I get L'Insoumis in my hands? Well, that is from my partner, FragranceX.com. You can utilize my sweet code ROBES08 and get 15% off on FragranceX, and you can purchase L'Insoumis there for a pretty good price. Major notes to my nose in this one are the basil, clary sage, and woods. So what did I get? So I'm living with this one right now. The dry down is still on me. Very, very woodsy right now and very green. But we're going to get into the dry down. But let's not waste any more time. Let's remind me of the introduction. I'll do a bunch of sprays here. Let's see what L'Insoumis gives me up top. And man, up top, this thing's green. It's fresh, but it's green. It has a leafy greenness to the fragrance. It's herbal, very much herbal, but it's also uplifting. This is due to the basil and, of course, the bergamot. Bergamot gives a sparkle to certain fragrances, and here it does, but the greenness kind of overshadows it quite a bit. My first wearing, I felt this was rather generic as an opening. I'll be quite honest with you guys, but my second wearing, it started to grow on me as the basil throws its minty qualities up top here, and it will show also its peppery side a little later in the fragrance. There's the idea of rum in the backdrop, but it's very faint in this fragrance. The clary sage is your second in command of this opening, throwing off even more herbal qualities and its lavender-like softness. I'd say it's pretty safe as an opening of a fragrance. Not bad. I'm not blown away, but not bad as the opening. Now more into the dry down of L'Insoumis, things don't change much. I wouldn't go as far as saying very linear, but once the clary sage shows up, that and the basil kind of, it's your 1-2 punch throughout the fragrance. So it's not going to move much. Just the players in the backdrop are going to play bigger roles. Obviously that bergamot's going to burn off real quick. And then you get the introductory of the woods. The woods throw off much more into the dry down. It's more of a woody scent with the green aspects, of course, with your central theme, but a lot of woods, and that peppery kick from the basil goes up a little. It amps up just a little bit more, and they introduce a little bit of vetiver here in this backbone of the fragrance. It seems like it's a signature note for Lalique. They love utilizing vetiver. It's not as big, bold, and central as it would be as in Encre Noire, of course, but it's there, and it gives its green, aspects to the fragrance. It stays very, very green. So really more woods and more of a spicy kick than anything. So it thickens up a little bit more in the dry down. Good blend, very good blend. Now let's get into the Revolver portion of this review. This is where I take a look at seasons, day, night, versatility, projection, longevity. Let's go. Let's take a look at the seasons first. I feel like this one's more of a tweener of a fragrance. It feels like because of the greenness in the fragrance, it'll work very well in the spring. I would say more of a fall spring scent. It has some freshness, but also has a solid backbone to the fragrance. I don't think it would work well in the high humidity and the high heat. It has a little bit of that backbone. So more of a tweener. Day or night, this is definitely a daily wear scent for me. It really just evokes an office scent for me. It just feels like an office scent to me. I feel it's going to have some very high versatility to this fragrance. So for my wearings, projection, it didn't project that much. I think it was more average than anything. As far as longevity, it hit 4 to 7 hours. A little low on my skin, but still pretty good at 4 to 7. So my overall thoughts on l'insoumis, that is not an Encre Noire release from Lalique. Overall, l'insoumis' first impression was decent. I'm not blown away like I was when I first smelled Encre Noire and some of its cousins. It's very pleasant, easy to wear scent that could be a daily driver for somebody. And especially with Lalique fragrances, you can get them cheap, real cheap. So I was actually fairly shocked when I was looking at reviews on this and I saw that it was compared to Sauvage from Christian Dior and people mentioning Lalique going way too mainstream with this scent. I don't see it. I really don't see the mainstream appeal of this fragrance. Yeah, you know, some people are going to say, yeah, it's boring. It just doesn't have any personality. It's like Sauvage, right? Do I see it as a safe bet from Lalique as a scent? Yes. Do I think they went with the Sauvage, the Dylan Blue, and the Invictus type of route? No, I do not. There is an air of Lalique quality to this fragrance, and I really don't think that those fragrances go hand in hand. They may have some notes that they share, but no. So I'd love to hear your take on this particular fragrance in the comments below. If you have sniffed it, tell us, good or bad. I'd love to hear your take. And if not, you can tell us which release from the House of Lalique is your favorite. Maybe I'll have to check that one out. If you enjoyed this content, please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and hit that bell because that bell is waiting to be rung. Are you part of my notification gang yet? If you haven't already, check me out. I am on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I post my scent of the day, scent of the night sometimes on there. On Facebook, you can follow me along. I do some behind the scenes pictures, things like that, before I release videos. Or if not, you can check us out on FGN, the Fragrance Guru Nation, which is on Facebook. It's a fragrance head's dream of a Facebook group because there's 14,000 other scent heads just like us that discuss fragrances. So join us today. Now I'm going to leave you with a few takes from all that social media that I talked about. I certainly appreciate everyone that did give their take on this particular fragrance, good or bad. I'd love to hear your take, so join us on social media. I post a picture and I say, what do you think? And I'm going to post it on my YouTube channel. As always, a great or poor fragrance will make a lasting impression. Choose your scent wisely. Thanks for watching.